I know a lot of you love watching big entrances, so here's a gift for you. Today I'm going to be featuring some of my favourite entrances from action anime these past 3 years. I'll talk about them, and I do hope that they'll serve as a reminder to what epic 3 years we've had so far. The best news is that the decade is still young, and we still have a lot to look forward to. But a brief look at the past to get those memories back and those goosebumps rising again won't be bad at all, will it? Right? But before that, I'd like to give a shout out to the sponsors of this video, Honkai Star Rail. Honkai Star Rail is an all-new free-to-play strategy RPG title in the Honkai series that continues the spiritual core of the resistance and coexistence of humans and destiny. The makers of Genshin Impact Hoyoverse have outdone themselves with this game. The character art design is simply exquisite. With dozens of characters to choose from, each with their own unique flair, you're sure to find a style that suits you. Plus, you can develop their abilities to fight and create a formidable team to embark on a wondrous interstellar journey together. Now, one of the things I love about this game is the story. It really is compelling. You'll step onto the interstellar Astral Express and meet new acquaintances, each with their own backstory. And the cutscenes are top-notch, with professional cinematography and animation direction that gives you the same level experience as a top-notch anime or TV series. With a star-studded voice cast and availability in 4 languages, you'll feel fully immersed in this rich world. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on this one. Check the link in the description to join the Trailblazers and embark on your own interstellar journey in Honkai Star Rail today. First off, we have one from Mushoku Tensei. It's been a hot while since I talked about Mushoku Tensei, right? It's definitely a contender for Anime of the Year when it first aired, and it owes that distinction to its great adaptation. And moments like these early on are the ones that help prove the point. What a way to make a first impression for Ghislaine, though. We don't know much about her prior to this moment, but come on, we all knew that there's something awesome about her. And we didn't get let down, not even a single bit. I gotta say, I loved how the entire scene was executed, from the build-up to the actual flashy entrances. Ghislaine makes short work of the kidnappers, and the anime team really made it a point to drive home how it's just another day for her. And at the end of the day, she makes a beautiful mess out of it, and these few seconds did so much in showing us a lot about her character and what she brings to the table. Ghislaine would prove to be a valuable ally, and it's this first major appearance that prepared us for that. Since we talked about isekai, how about one that made the genre a household name? Alicization Arc had its grand finale last 2020, and what more could you ask for than Kirito's glorious return? After being sidelined for an entire core, he finally made his return in a big way. I feel that the actual awakening is good, and so was his appearance in the after story in space. I was seriously giving those some considering, but how can you say no to how he saved Alice and the dragons, all while standing like a boss, ready to take on the final boss of the arc? It's one of the more hype moments in the second part of Alicization's War of Underworld. Maybe a tie or second only to Kirito saving Asuna in the form of activating Yu-Gi-Oh's sword an episode ago. And while it may be purely coincidental, the way Kirito floated in the air there really gave me flashbacks to Naruto returning in Sage form. Don't you agree? That's the Kirito SAO fans have grown to love. Confident, badass, and ready to take on even the greatest challenges, even when the odds don't favor him. And against such a godlike opponent like Subtilizer, he needed all the help he could get. Subaru has never looked as cool as he did towards the final of ReZero Season 2. It's like the perfect glow-up moment for Subaru. He's had a lot of growing done, and through all the loops and his steady determination, he made his arrival at the end of Season 2 looking more like your awesome, heroic isekai protagonist. This moment just had everything you expected from Subaru and more. He already had a lot of cool moments of leading the charge under his belt, and this adds more to that ever-growing resume. Subaru's a great character overall, and this moment, I feel, is the culmination of all the hard work, of all the crap he's had to endure and learn from, and the quantified version of the bonds he had to forge with everyone in this second season. So yeah, in the end, it's still Beatrice and Emilia who did most of the heavy lifting against the Killer Rabbits, but it is Subaru who's been leading the charge, and he's been doing it for quite some time already. You can't tell me that you didn't at least feel a bit emotional seeing him arrive in the nick of time, all while that emotional Ed song's playing and Emilia preparing to make her last stand. How about a villainous one to continue the list? The best villains are known to strike when the heroes are most vulnerable, and that's just what Akaza did when he made his heart-pounding entrance. Our heroes just had the fight of their lives against Enmu, and in comes an even stronger foe ready to pick up the pieces. Whether it's the movie version or the TV version, both entrances do an excellent job in giving the audience a huge swerve. Just when you think the climax is over, it turns out it's just the beginning. Akaza's first appearance is so on point, with it being slow, dramatic, and even haunting. You just knew that there was no way the good guys were going to come out of this one unscathed. And yet Rengoku puts up a great fight, giving us the true climactic ending that people will always remember. Seriously, I mean, just look around you. How many people remember the Enmu fight over this spectacle, one which also serves as a great farewell for a character we barely knew but have also grown to like over the course of an hour or just a couple of minutes? Definitely a villain entrance done right. One Piece is the gift that keeps on giving, and this entry is definitely one of those. I've often featured One Piece on this channel. I can't help it when it's one of the most awesome battle shonen out there, still going strong after decades of running. Heck, I think that in a lot of ways, modern One Piece has even outshone the classic one thanks to advancements in animation and adaptation style. And it's these advances that make entrances like this just so awesome. I haven't featured Zoro a whole lot in the numerous entries I put on for this series, but here he is, deservingly so, as well, as this was an entrance for the ages. He had his shining moments in fights, but has he had an entrance as cool and as flashy as this one? It's a really awesome entrance, and one that I'll definitely remember for years to come. If you like this video so far, make sure to leave a like and subscription while you're at it. It takes just a few seconds and you'll be helping out the channel a lot. Thank you. Black Clover ended in a victorious fanfare as an anime, and along the way, it brought us even more cool entrances. What I really like about the Black Balls is that they have a bond that's practically familial. These guys may be rough around the edges and bicker with one another, but when push comes to shove, you bet they still stick to each other through till the bitter end. We have the Finral scene to look back on, but take a step further and have one of them be a wanted individual on the verge of execution. You can still count on Yami and the gang to come busting in, giving zero damn on what people think of the group. This is one of the most explosive and loudest entrances in the show, and it really shows the group's philosophy as a whole. Doesn't matter if you're royal or not, these badass crews stick by one of their own. It's a really impactful moment and one that helps define this arc. It also drives home what the Black Balls are really all about. Attack on Titan is about to reach its grand conclusion, and I'd like to take this time to look back at one of the best moments from a recent season. There were so many things to like about Attack on Titan seasons, from the successful shift and role reversals to the continued fights and spine-chilling moments. Few moments are as powerful as the rumbling, but we're not going to be talking about that right now. Compared to the rumbling, this one was way more sudden, more dynamic, more forceful in terms of impact. And it's something that I appreciated a lot more thanks to the build-up. Can I just say how much I love the whole talk he had with Reiner? All the things he'd been through had been enough to have him reach the boiling point, and he comes out with probably the most explosive transformation he's done so far. It all happened in a snap and in perfect timing, and that shot of Eren's Titan rising up and roaring is one of the most iconic things I can see from this season. One long-running series that did end was JoJo, and with its Stone Ocean came a nostalgic return. It's been a good while since we've seen Jotaro, hasn't it? Well, he's back for good, and we see him coming at the nick of time, saving Jolene when the going got really tough. As someone who likes JoJo, I can't appreciate this moment enough. The timing and the atmosphere, it's just perfect for it. The sudden entry of the time-stopping power, the iconic music, and an awesome punch heard around the world. Such a great entrance and the best way to welcome back an all-time fan favorite character. And it comes with another easy win under his belt and a statement made. That's the Jotaro that we know and loved, and I can't think of a better way to reintroduce him formally than this. Stone Ocean has more surprises on the way, so if you're on the lookout for them, why not head to Netflix and watch the conclusion of an epic journey. Bleach made its comeback, and it's one of the best returns in shonen anime history. Something about Thousand Year Blood War that made it a serious contender for the best anime of its season. Compared to continuations or reboots like Shaman King, Bleach just blows everything out of the water due to its now streamlined storytelling, various additions that enhance the manga version, and now it's chock full of moments to remember. Bleach's latest season has no shortage of dynamic entrances, and a lot of it courtesy of the main character himself. Ichigo has made a living out of great entrances in the span of a core, but my favourite one by far is his entry into Soul Society. It's just an entrance that gives me a mixture of emotions. On one hand, it's a long time coming as he'd spent episodes on end trying to break out of the jail, and him just one-shotting the Sternritter was hype. On the other hand, he arrived at a devastated Soul Society, was the recipient of a rousing yet somber Byakuya speech, and quickly got to work going after Yuha almost immediately. He almost didn't say anything here, but you can just feel the emotions about to overflow in him. There's that look in him that you haven't seen in a while, and this is where Ichigo is at his most dangerous. Such a powerful sequence of events, and it's only the first encounter with the Quincy's, mind you. Can't wait for the next part of this arc. And it's nice to finish off with what people can say to be Bleach's spiritual successor, Jujutsu Kaisen. Shows like Bleach opened up the path for titles like Jujutsu Kaisen to walk, and Jujutsu Kaisen gladly took that chance and carved a name for itself in the history of shonen anime. Jujutsu Kaisen may not have reached the incredible highs that Bleach and Demon Slayer had in terms of popularity, but don't call it a slouch in the field of animation, creating a remarkable memory after another. The fights, they're just simply on point. If there's any doubt as to what MAPPA can do for shonen fight scenes, Jujutsu Kaisen should put all of that to rest. The epic fights are everywhere, and we're only a little over halfway done through the season at this point when Gojo makes his epic entrance at the climax of the arc. He unleashes Hollow Purple to finish the job that Aoi and Yuji started. It's an entrance to an appearance that lasts as quickly as it started, but I don't think we've seen Gojo any cooler than he was in those few seconds. It helps that we're still feeling the adrenaline rush from one of the best fights in the series, only for Gojo's appearance to give it a much needed crescendo. The good news? We've still got a lot more Jujutsu Kaisen coming our way, so stay tuned for the next season and the numerous epic moments that we've got coming ahead. And that's a wrap. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want more, the channel's always open for browsing some videos, and you can follow VinnyTube on social media. I really appreciate you staying to the end, and I'll see you on the next video.